I welcome all of you. My today's topic is about function. In today's session I am going to learn about use of function, type of functions and parameters in function. Now though we learn about the basic control statements and PHP, you can write function. The question you may arise that why function is required. So the reason is that function is a collection of statement and it provides reusability of the code. In the software engineering perspective, reusability is very important. Once you write a code, you don't need to rewrite the same code again and again. The other benefit is that if you use the same code, it will make the consistent. Your program will be, code will be consistent because it is the same code as you written previously. So PHP has provide facility to write function. Functions can be user defined or built in, or you can say by default function provided by PHP. There are a lot of functions provided by PHP, so you don't need to write code for that, and you can write your own function for the functionality you would like to utilize it. Function, as I say, can be built in as well as user defined. So let me give demonstration of the few built-in functions. The first such function is date function, which take one parameter of format of date. So let me give demonstration of that. So as usual, I will first open my notepad++ to write the code into it, and let me start to type my code. So first of all, I have to type the opening tag of PHP. So I will type PHP opening and closing tag, and let me save this file as a file, save as, and I will save this file onto my WAMP folder, www directory in EPG. Let me create the folder function 1, and here I write 1 date.php. So let me define one variable $date is the built-in function is date, and it will take format. Let's say for example I provide format D, M and Y, and let me write echo PR. The date is $date, and save this one. Very simple function I will write here. Now to start WAMP server, I will start my WAMP server. So in the status bar it will become green color now, and open localhost, and into localhost EPG function 1 date.php. So the date is 18/6/16. It will display as I have set in my desktop this date. Or if you want to display as a like capital M and then small d comma capital Y. So this is just formatting. We will move later on. I will explain when we take this built-in functions many formatting. But this will capital M means it will write the month name, then D is date, comma capital Y means year in 4 character. So now it will display June 18, 2016. So this is the date function. One such other function is set, is to test whether a variable is set or not. So again I create new file to test it. Go to the file, save as, and give it name as a isset.php. Here I define $name is equal to, let's say, my name I type, and now I would like to check, so I can write if isset $name, right? I can check, or you can write as that $answer is set $name, and then you print, then you write, that means it will return true or false. So you can write if $answer is equal to true, then you write echo h1 or br variable is set with value $name, else you can print variable is not set. So just save this one to check is set. Of course, if you want to see the value of echo answer, you can write echo br answer is $answer. It will return 1 if it is true or 0 for false. So let's execute that code, refresh the page. There is a syntax error on line 13, so let me check line 13. Line 13, 11, I haven't typed this one correctly, so I think now is it okay. So I refresh this. So variable is set with value hidden. The reason is that answer is true. Okay, I have to use this br correct way, then it will display answer value. So answer is 1 and variable is set with value hidden. So this is set function. If I write $name, now I check for $name is, let's say that empty quotes, and check this one, then you can check, though it will be considered as a value 1. But if you write $name is null, null is a special value, you can write in either uppercase or lowercase, then you can say the variable is not set. So this is about is set function. Another such function is empty function. You can say empty is reverse of is set. That means it will return true if variable is not set, otherwise it will return false. So let me save this file as my third file, empty.php, so to give idea about that one. So here empty, so if it is true, then you can say variable is not set, otherwise you can say here it is variable is not set because empty is true, else variable is set with value $answer, $name. Save this one. So initially we assign $name is null, that's why it will return is not set. Empty is written 1 because is not set, and that's why it written this is not set. If I write $name is hidden, then it is not empty, so it will display here it is 0 and variable is set with value hidden. Or you can check for empty parenthesis here, but though you provide empty parenthesis either in single quote or double quote, you provide some value, means you set a value, so it will give you the answer is 1 and variable is not set because answer is true here, right? So it is empty. So this is the difference between is set and empty. The fourth such function is numeric, to check whether the variable you type or pass is numeric or not. So let me define one variable. Variable 1 is assigned to, let's say, 10. Now you write $answer is underscore numeric $variable 1, and you can type if $answer is true, or simply write if $answer, then you can write echo h1 variable is numeric, else echo h1 variable is not numeric and /h1. Save this one, or you can write here $answer is equal to true. So I will save this one as a fourth one and is numeric dot php. To check that, let me once again open the browser and execute the code. So variable is numeric. You can test it for any other variable. Let me just copy paste and show you some more demonstration about it. Now you can provide any floating value as well. Say for example you write $variable2 is assigned to 15.67 and you check for variable 2. So that will be also the same value because it will be checked for whether it is a line 14 has a error. The reason is I haven't provided semicolon here. Now I check it. So this also considers a numeric, but if you provide numeric and string value as a string, let's say I provide 15C, so that is not numeric value. So it's a variable is not numeric. Whether it can be a single quote or in double quote you can test it, but it is not treated as a numeric value. 15C or C15, you can write any of that value, but the result will be same. You can check it. C15, save this one and refresh this. So these four are built-in functions that can be very helpful when you write coding. The general syntax for define a function is function keyword, then function name and parameter list you have to provide. This is optional, but parenthesis is compulsory because parameter list is passing parenthesis. And then in the function block you can write statements and optionally return and optional return value, because if you write function, so function can return some value, and when it reach to return statement, the execution of function is stopped and it will pass the value to the calling program. Now if you not write return value, then it will return I can say null value, or if you write only return and not specify value, then it will also return null value. The function name is rules are very similar to variable name because it must be unique within a script. It can include alphabet, digit or underscore, and function name must begin with alphabet or underscore. Of course you cannot use reserved keyword for function name as well. So these are the simple rules. So what points to ponder for function, that the parentheses are compulsory for function definition and calling, though it takes 0 parameter. The function definition start with keyword function. Function can have 0 or more arguments. Function parameters are separated by comma in function definition. That means if a function takes more than one parameter, it is separated by comma. Function names are case insensitive, but though in generally PHP has a case sensitive variable, I strongly recommend that we consider function as also case sensitive. So we don't need to bother about much thing about that, and function can have return value. Now in this, when we talk about function, parameter and arguments, these two keywords are used. These are basically the same things, but the difference is that when you define a function, so at that time you write the variable name for the value. So these are parameters, and when you call that function and you provide the value as or variable, so these are known as a arguments. But these two keywords are used interchangeably, and to call a function you have to just type function name and pass the particular arguments, and the parameter or arguments you are passed must be compatible data type, as well as if there are more number of parameter or argument you require, so that will be in the same order as at the time of defining a function. Let's write some example about function. So first I write function without any parameter and without return value with the name any name. So let me start type code. So I type PHP opening and closing tag, file, save as, and let me write message without param and return.html. So here I define one function hello, and you can write echo h1 hello from function hello, and you just would like to call that, so you can write hello empty parenthesis. Save this one. To see, let's execute this one, refresh the page, so it will display. Okay, I have a problem with this one because function hello, then this one, and call this one in PHP. I have okay, let me close here h1. It is not work as a, okay, it is, I have save as a HTML, not PHP. So let me make file save as, and let me type dot PHP, and I have to call PHP function in my this browser. So I will run this. This is, so it is a hello from function hello. So this is the function. Another function I can write which will be take some parameter and use that. Let's say for example I just write function hello and $name, and I type hello and then $name, and then I define outside of function $name is hidden, and then call the function hello $name. Save this file save as 61 message with param dot php. So let me check this way by execute it on our browser. So it will say hello here, and if you provide any other value, right now I use static value, but you can use HTML form and get value, then that value can be passed. If there is a name is like say for example Dhaval, then you can write, it will display hello Dhaval. So this is again passing parameter. You can pass more than one parameter, but to give idea I just take simple example. Now let me give one more example that will return some value. So I again copy the code and let me paste it and say hello, and it takes two parameter, let's say f name and l name. So these are two parameter. Here I define inside a function. Let me save this one as a file save as 7 number message with param and return dot php. Then I can define one variable $full name is assigned to $f name concatenate space dot $l name, and it will return $full name. And here I defined $f is equal to this, $s is equal to let's say Pandya, and I write here $answer is hello. So here $f is argument and $, is another argument, and $f name and $l name is parameter. And you can say echo h1 full name is type $answer. So this will take two parameters as well as return this full name. So let me test it by run the program. So it is say full name is Dhaval Pandya because this is written this name. So this is the way you can work with function. I write simple example. Now you can pass parameter in function. The parameters can be passed in function either of two way, either by value or by reference. By value is the default, that if you not specify, value means it will be copied the value. So the original value of your parameter is not changed, but when you say by reference, it will be pointing to that location of value, so you can change that value. Let me give one example of that. The example we have taken it using pass by value, so let me create one more function to demonstrate that. So I will once again create a new file and call this one as a file save as 8 number pass by value dot php. So here I define one function add value and into dollar value, and you can say dollar answer is dollar value plus 10 and echo h1 value is dollar answer. Now I write dollar v1 is, let's say, 10. Now call the function add value, or let me type echo h1 before calling the function. The variable value is dollar v1. Now we call the function add value and pass as a one argument dollar v1, and I then print after calling the function value of this one is what. So save this. What actually happens, initially it is 10, then we call that function, so 10 plus 10 it should display value is 20, and as we pass the value by parameter passed by value, the value is actually 10 here. Look at here, or I can write here value also, it doesn't make any difference. Dollar value is dollar value. So open that function, execute that one, pass by value 10, 20 and 10, because we pass by value, not by reference. If I want to pass by reference, then I take the same code and let me just pass it as a by reference. So I save this one as a file save as 9 and pass by reference dot php. So to pass by reference, you have to use, before the variable name, use ampersand symbol. So this symbol will pass value as a reference. Now the same code I execute here. So look at here, here it is 10, 20 and now it becomes 20. So the reason is that we pass the value as a by reference. If you call the function by value, so you can look at here, it is original value is not changed because the values is copied, and that copy is passed to function when you call this one. So this is pass by reference. You can simultaneously pass by value and pass by reference also. That means within the one function there are multiple parameters, so some parameter can take value, parameter can be passed as a value and someone can be passed as a reference. Say for example, let me create new function here, PHP and file save as multiple value reference dot php. Let me create one function multiple pass and $v1, so it is passed by value, $v2 which is also passed by value, but I write ampersand $v3, so it is passed by reference, ampersand $v4, so it is passed by reference. Now you can write $v3 is assigned to $v1 plus $v2, $v4 is equal to $v1 multiply $v2. Now to call that function, let me define some variable. Let me define $n1 is 10, $n2 is 5, and now we call that function multiple pass and provide $n1, $n2, $s and $p, and then I can write echo h1 sum of $n1 and $n2 is $s. Same way I can write echo product of or multiplication of n1 and n2 is $p. Let's save this one and execute this one. Refresh, run this. So sum of 10 and 5 is 15 and multiplication of 10 and 5 is 15. So you can see here we pass parameter. It can be any order, not necessarily the same order you require. Here it can be as a pass by reference as well. So that way you can work with this function. Let's summarize about this topic we have covered today. First of all, we consider that what is function. So function is nothing but a collection of statement, and it should be it is a reusable code. Then function can be built-in or user defined. Then we take some example of built-in functions like date, is set, empty and is numeric. Then we consider rules to give function name and how to pass the value by reference or by value, and function have a parameter which is optional or it can optionally return value. The function has some more features also that I will explain in next lecture.